This is Valley News Live at 10.
New tonight at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nashay Taylor. A Belcourt man was arrested early this morning after assaulting someone in downtown Fargo. Police were called just after 2 a.m. to the 10 block of Broadway North. Officers found 21-year-old Seth Baker laying in the street when they arrived, but he was later detained for becoming agitated and uncooperative. And after speaking with witnesses, police learned Baker was a suspect in an assault that happened before they arrived. Fargo PD says Baker broke a window and unlawfully entered a car after two people declined to give him a ride. They say the driver of the vehicle sped up attempting to get Baker out of the car, but Baker assaulted one of the passengers before they both fell out and began fighting. Baker now faces several charges, including assault and criminal mischief. A Fargo family is now displaced after a fire tore through their home this morning. Fire crews were called shortly after 9:15 this morning to the 1400 block of 11th Avenue South. Once firefighters arrived, the porch and the front of the home were fully engulfed in flames. Crews were able to put it out within 25 minutes. Fargo Fire's assistant fire marshal says 2 occupants and 2 cats were in the home when the fire started. The occupants were able to escape. The 2 cats were found and rescued from the home. They were also not harmed. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Well, after a dry week, there are a few chances of rain in the upcoming forecast. Summer is here now to fill us in. Hey, Summer.
Hey, Nashay, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Things are looking dry right now, as we have been for now a couple of days here in Fargo, aside from some hit and miss light rain chances. But as Nashay just said, we do have rain in the forecast. Today, temperatures were able to warm into the 70s and 80s, very seasonal and comfortable for mid-August. 80 was the high temperature in Fargo and in Elbow Lake, 84 in Grand Forks, Devil's Lake with a little bit more sunshine, 81 in Hallock and in Valley City as well. Right now, temperatures have fallen into the 60s and 70s with mostly clear skies. We did have a few clouds passing throughout the afternoon. Those have now been on the way out, but we will see increasing clouds and the chance for some rain for some as we head into your Monday. So, Nashay, coming up in a little bit, I'll time out when and where we could see some rain or hear some thunder.
Okay, well, we need the rain after that dry week or so.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you so much, Summer. Fargo police are asking for the public's help in finding a 15-year-old boy. They are looking for Henrique Watson, who ran away from his South Fargo home yesterday. Watson is about 5'5" and was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt and shorts. Anyone with information is asked to call the Red River Regional Dispatch at 701-451-7660. Also new tonight, this evening, family and community members came together to honor the life of Christy Nichol. The group stood outside the Grand Forks Police Department surrounded by signs saying bring Christy home and keep digging. Among those in attendance was Nichol's brother and sister-in-law, who tells Valley News Live they miss Christy more than words can explain. Nichol disappeared more than 25 years ago. Recently, the Grand Forks Police Department received a tip that led them to dig up in the backyard of a Grand Forks home searching for human remains. Unfortunately, none were found. This afternoon, 2 people were hurt in a 3-vehicle crash on the Highway 52 bypass in Jamestown. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says 2 vehicles were parked at a construction zone stoplight when another SUV did not stop for the traffic signal. The SUV then rear-ended the 2 vehicles and continued into a ditch before striking a culvert. The driver, 39-year-old Aaron Madsen of Jamestown, was arrested for DUI and reckless endangerment. Bismarck native and former Miss America is petitioning for nomination for Congress, and today she stopped in Fargo at the West Acres Mall to speak with people and collect those signatures. Valley News Team's Alex Larson caught up with Kara Munn to find out how it's going for her so far.
It's only been a week since Kara Mund announced her mission to get on the November ballot for the United States House of Representatives.
I think people are just excited to see another option on the ballot, hopefully to see a woman for the first time ever in that role, in that position, as someone you can vote for. And it's important that we have that representation, and especially now in 2022, it should not be the first time that a woman has been placed on the ballot for this role.
Mund plans to run as an independent, but needs 1,000 signatures to qualify. So she's traveling the state to get them.
Hopefully it will, I'll be on the ballot, and then from there I'll continue to travel the state. I hope to get to, all the large cities, all the small towns, speak to as many North Dakotans as possible. And, win or lose, there's a lot of ways to win in this.
She says many things are influencing her to run, including the Dobbs ruling from the Supreme Court to decisions made by the North Dakota Republican Party.
The voting record of the incumbent is also something that I just want to make sure we have accountability, we have transparency, and that North Dakotans really do feel like their voice matters.
Mund also says she is committed to speaking with North Dakotans about what's impacting their lives and jobs and what she can do to help represent them.
I really do see this as a job of public service, and so just because you've had the role before doesn't mean you get to just take it over again. You really need to be working for it. You need to represent our people, and I know I would do that.
In Fargo, Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
Now, Mund has until September 6th to get the signatures into the Secretary of State's office. A man took his own life after crashing his car into a barricade and firing shots near the U.S. Supreme Court early this morning. Authorities say after the man crashed, the car became engulfed in flames. Capitol Police said the man, identified as 29-year-old Richard York, got out of the vehicle and fired several shots into the air. As Capitol Police approached, the man reportedly shot himself. The motivation behind the incident is still not known at this time. However, Capitol Police also say it does not appear York was targeting any members of Congress. There is growing fallout today as U.S. lawmakers call on the Justice Department to release more details on the search of former President Donald Trump's Florida residence. And the FBI says its agents and properties have been confronted with a number of threats. Cole Higgins has the latest.
Questions mounting days after the search of former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence.
I have asked for, along with Chairman Maloney, a damage assessment by the intelligence community and a briefing to Congress.
Adam Schiff, the Democratic chair of the House Select Intelligence Committee, says he has yet to hear back about a damage assessment on the 11 sets of classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago, but remains confident one will eventually be done.
That is, I think, fairly routine when there has been the potential risk of disclosure of national security information or classified information.
Republicans on the House Intel Committee are demanding investigators deliver a briefing detailing the reasons for the search.
On a bipartisan basis, Congress is saying, show us the goods. We want to know, one, what did the Department of Justice and the FBI tell the judge that they were going to find, and what did they find? There's a high level of skepticism, but we don't have to speculate. We have the clearance, we have the oversight ability.
Saturday, pro-Trump protesters in Phoenix, Arizona, peacefully demonstrating outside the local FBI field office. But the FBI says its agents and properties are dealing with an unprecedented number of threats. A law enforcement source says the personal information of 2 FBI employees listed in court documents as being involved in the search circulated online.
Those folks on the ground do extraordinarily heroic efforts to enforce our rule of law, which is fundamental to the Republican Party and to our democracy.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Very concerning to me. It's outrageous rhetoric.
Your father was an FBI agent.
My father, my uncle, 2 of my cousins were FBI agents, and I work with them on an ongoing basis. State police work with them every single day. These are dedicated law enforcement officers.
Some lawmakers are speaking up after threats have been made against the FBI following the surprise search of former President Trump's Florida estate. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan says he doesn't agree with some Republicans who are calling for dismantling the FBI. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar also reacted to the rhetoric.
I thought in the old days the Republican Party used to stand with law enforcement, and I hope some of them do today, because this kind of rhetoric is very dangerous to our country.
The 1-year anniversary since all U.S. troops were withdrawn from Afghanistan is quickly approaching. Representative Adam Schiff says the withdrawal could have been handled differently and that an al-Qaeda threat still remains.
Well, I certainly don't think the withdrawal had to go as it did, and the loss of American lives during that withdrawal. Al-Qaeda is an ongoing threat. I think, though, that the threat from al-Qaeda is probably greater outside Afghanistan than it is in Afghanistan.
Representative Schiff added the killing of Ayman al-Zawahiri demonstrated the U.S., quote, retains the capability to go after those that threaten the country. Later on Valley News Live at 10, a mom and her infant son were honored after they passed away within weeks of each other.
And we'll be starting the work week with the chance for some showers and maybe some rumbles of thunder as well into our Monday. The better chance for strong to severe weather will be out in western North Dakota. But we'll time out these storm chances, let you know when and where you may see them coming up after the break.